but I think the wait is worth the while. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Andre Johnson. I'm the official spokesperson for Headbangers Promotions and Team Peterson. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone of you for braving this weather today to come here. This is not the norm, but this occasion warrants such attention. But before we get started, I would like to dispel a few swirling rumors that are out there. Number one, Lamont is not retiring. Matter of fact, secondly, tickets went on sale today at 1 p.m. for Peterson versus Hope Redemption at the DC Armory, televised live on ESPN2, February 22nd at 9 p.m. On behalf of Team Peterson and Headbangers Promotions, I would like to quickly take the time to acknowledge a few people that are here. I would like to thank at-large council member Vincent Orange for all the support to Team Peterson. I would like to thank Scotty Irvin and the Boxing Commission. Mr. Graham, thank you very much for extremely support. I would like to thank John Stokes of DC Department of Rec for providing facility and everything else that we needed to make this happen today. The attorneys for Team Peterson, Adiza Bakari and Michael Hepburn of Dowlonis Law Firm. They've been pillars of strength since the beginning. Thank you, guys. I would also like to thank Jerry Bonds, who has also been a great help to Team Peterson as well. Now, at this time, I'm not going to waste any more of your time, and I appreciate you all for being here. I'm going to ask Lamont to come to the podium and make this very important announcement. Lamont?
Good afternoon. For the first time that's here in my new gym, how y'all like my new playground? Well, I'd just like to, first say that, I'm really excited about this new gym. I'm really excited to be fighting February 22nd, defending the IBF title. Excited to be fighting back in DC. Last fight, it's gonna be 14 months, when the next time I fight. 14-month layoff, but not really worried about it, because I've been in the gym, training hard, for the whole 14 months. So don't expect any ring rust. Just expect me to go out there and fight the way I always fight. I fight hard to represent, my family, Headbangers, and most of all, DC. Just would like to say, thanks for standing behind me, the whole DC. It was a rough year last year, and I just want to thank everybody who stood with me and believed in me and knew that I would come back fighting. I just want to say thanks to everybody. Of course, we're here for a reason. So, the big announcement at this point, I just said, I'm excited, for the new gym. I'm excited to be fighting. And I'm also excited to, announce today that, I decided to, sign a fight agreement with Golden Boy, a multi-fight deal with Golden Boy. So, after this fight, for maybe, a few fights for a few years, I'll be fighting with Golden Boy. And just seemed like it was the right thing to do at this time, because when we sat down at this table, we looked at, where our career was going, and with me and my whole team, a lot of times we try to give the fans the biggest fights that we can give them. When we start looking around at promoters and who had the best fights at my weight, it was a no-brainer. It was Golden Boy. They got, if y'all keep up with the fights, and saw the fights this weekend, they got this man, Lucas Matisse, that they making out to be the boogeyman. Well, if y'all didn't know that, my birthday was last week and I turned 29. So that means I'm grown. And I know at this point, 29 years old, there's no such thing as no such thing as the boogeyman. So now that I'm signed on with Golden Boy, likely that fight will happen in the near future. And so those are the fights that, that people want to see. So that's part of the reason why, signing with Golden Boy was the best thing to do. And I'm really excited about it. I hope everybody's excited about, the fights that we can make. Everybody want to see the rematch with Khan. Maybe that can happen. And eventually fight, guys like Danny Garcia. So, it just seemed like the right thing to do. And I'm happy with the deal. It seemed like everybody in Headbangers are happy with the deal. And hopefully we can get these big fights on, and hopefully we can get them here in DC.
Hello everyone, good to be here. Have emerged from the little room back there. We're all of us at Golden Boy are really pleased to announce the signing of Lamont Peterson. We have worked with Lamont on fights dating back to 2010. Our experience with him, his team has always been great. Barry, Cologne, and our recent experiences with Ortiz and Michael have been great. As Lamont said, 140 pounds. The action is over at Golden Boy. We have a lot of the big names. He referenced Danny Garcia, Amir Khan, the Boogeyman, Lucas, Marcos Maidana, just to name a few. Also, eventually, if Lamont decides he wants to move up, there we have at 147, we have a few names there too. So for fighters at 140, 147 pounds, working with Golden Boy is a good place to work. We're excited, another world champion on our roster, and we've seen what he's capable of. The two times he fought Golden Boy fighters, one was a draw. In a fight that no one really gave Lamont much of a chance in, and he fought his way off the canvas and he fought to a draw, and I don't need to tell anyone what happened. The other fight he had against a Golden Boy fighter down the road here at the convention center. So we have every confidence in the world in him as a fighter, in his team, and we're just really excited to be working with him and looking forward to the future. Questions? It's a long trip from New York for no questions.
I have a question. Ron Burke with the Washington Informer. Okay, you say so this goes into effect after this fight? The fight that's coming up?
We're going to be just providing support. The fight that's coming up is a promotion of Headbangers and Gary Shaw. Obviously, we'll provide support to Lamont behind the scenes, but it will be their promotion. It will not be our promotion.
But the fight after that will be a Golden Boy.
Correct.
One more question. And did Team Peterson approach Golden Boy, or did Golden Boy approach Team Peterson?
It was us. I think it was us approaching Team Peterson, if my memory serves. So, but it was, it wasn't a chase.
No, it's not. I'm just trying to understand some of the dynamics so that you're the promoter, but they retain management. Is that right, Barry? Yes, sir. All right, no problem.
Another question. This is Juan Marshall, Pro Am Fight Talk. I noticed normally when you fight on cards and everything, will you be bringing your brother along with you to fight on these cards also? Will that be a part of it? Bringing Anthony along with you on his cards?
Well, at this point, I have no idea of, how that's going to go on. But likely, he'll probably be on the cards also. But, Headbangers, you know, we started our own promotion company, so, you know, he'll probably be on some of those cards as well.
But when we do events, when we work with a fighter, if a fighter has a request, something that's important to them, we generally try to accommodate it. We did it in DC when he fought Amir, so, you know, I think it's safe to say you'll see it happening.
Any other names you think, right offhand, that you were going after this fight here? Not looking past Holt, but with Golden Boy? Because I know with Lamont. Sorry. Because I know Lamont, you know, Golden Boy pretty much have all the pretty much top fighters, so some of those.
But at this point, it only makes sense for, you know, the top guys. And Golden Boy had, you know, really outside of myself, the top 3 fighters. You know, the other top fighters are, you know, with Top Rank. And so right now, in the near future, you know, we really look and concentrate on, you know, the fighters that's in the Golden Boy stable. And hopefully we can get those fights done and move on from there.
Just elaborating on that, I mean, our job as his promoter is to make him the most money possible. That's our job, to get him the biggest fights and the most money possible. Obviously, all fighters have a limited window in which they can earn big money, and in our opinion, those fights come against fighters in our stable.
I got another question for you. Now let's get back to the fight you have coming up with Kendall Hall. I know you've been out for about a year now, and I'm pretty sure you're pretty hungry. And I'm thinking he's going to be kind of hungry too. So what kind of fight we're going to be expecting out of you?
Well, with me, I feel like, you know, I got some things to prove. I know I can fight. I know Kendall's going to come to fight. You know, this pretty much probably his last chance. And with me, I'm looking to move forward to bigger fights. So we both, you know, have a lot on the line. We both want to fight hard. It's going to come down to who wanted more. And I just believe that I'm going to want it more. And I'll come out victorious and move on.
Any more questions?
Do you feel like you're going to have any pushback from the Khan camp? They were pretty irate, I guess, when the first fight got canceled. Do you feel like they're going to be a little upset with the signing of Lamont to the same stable?
We spoke to them. They were aware that it was going to happen, and they understand that, you know, this is a business, and they also understand that, you know, a fight for Amir in the future could be Lamont. They understand that the easiest way to make a fight happen between 2 fighters is when they're with the same promoter. You eliminate, you know, the X factor of you know, another company's feelings and wants, and it's just fights are easier to make that way. But they were completely understanding of it. You know, they understand what it's about.
Would you push for a rematch? Would they want to do the rematch in England if it is feasible for them to fight again?
It hasn't been discussed, but, you know, given the fact that, you know, Lamont did win the last fight, I don't know that Lamont would be willing to go to England to fight him. You know, now we're in the position where, you know, we would, if there were a fight to take place, we represent both fighters, so we have to tread the middle ground and do what's fairest for both fighters. And I think, you know, part of the reason why when the rematch was scheduled, it was in Las Vegas was because it was neutral territory. So I don't, you know, it hasn't come up, but if I had to guess, I don't think you would see a second fight between them happening in England.
So when did the communication between Headbangers and Golden Boy start to come to this point right here? When did this all come about?
It's the end of the year, I guess. The end of the year last year.
Oh, okay.
What's going on with your, I know that you guys applied for a promoter's license in England. Has that been approved yet? Will you be able to promote fights in England next year?
It's being worked on. In England, the process isn't as simple as a lot of places, you know, a lot of jurisdictions in the United States. It's more involved, but it's ongoing.
So Lamont, since your year layoff, how's training been going? Have you been consistently training? Have you took some time off? You know, since May sometime? How has it been going?
It's kind of like I've fought 2 or 3 times since then. You know, I trained real hard, really hard, and it's like, you know, we had the Zab Judah fight, and we was going to fight hard in December too. So, you know, it's been like we're training hard, and we get to the point where it's like we're going to fight. The fight don't happen, so then you know, kind of take a week off, you know, start back training light, and then pick it up again. So it's kind of been like the same type of schedule as if I was fighting. So that's why I'm not really worried about any ring rust, because I've been in the ring, in the gym, training, and sometimes training hard, just like I was going to fight. So I'm not really worried about it. I think everything will be okay.
What kind of crowd are you expecting? With the Khan fight was a huge crowd right there at the convention center. So DC Armor, I guess they haven't had fights in almost like 20 years there. So what kind of crowd do you think is going to be at that ESPN fight?
Well, actually, me and my brother fought maybe 5 or 6 years ago at the Armory.
Oh, okay.
And kind of like a last minute thing that we drew over 4,000 for an ESPN fight. So it was pretty loud in there, and the crowd was into it. So I expect the same thing, if not better, this time. So I expect the same type of crowd as the con crowd, and hopefully, you know, everybody come out and show me support, and I'm gonna go out there and fight hard for them.
Barry, I got it.
Just my opinion on it. I think it's going to have, I mean, again, as promoters, we're not promoting the event, but I think there will be a very solid crowd for this fight. He hasn't had really his quote-unquote homecoming fight yet. You know, he hasn't fought since winning the title. So.
Barry, I got a question for you. Since Golden Boy came in, I guess you're going to be stepping out of the manager part of it, or are you still just manager?
Actually, Malone is the president of Headbangers Promotion.
Oh, okay.
But Barry will still be manager, trainer,
Right.
Golden Boy promoter.
Oh, okay.
No, that's
Okay.
still in place.
Oh, okay. Okay. So they're just going to basically just concentrate on all the fights, and you guys just manage, basically.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Going once?
So how much more training time you have up until your fight coming up?
Well, probably like another week and a half, 2 weeks of hard training. Then after that, it's pretty much taking it easy. My weight's good right now, so that's not a problem. And just cruising in from there. You know, I'm ready to fight right now. So right now, just about staying sharp and staying ready, keeping my mind focused on, you know, February 22nd.
About the undercard of that fight, they have any names for the undercard of that fight, you know?
Yes, in fact, this will be the first time since he turned pro in DC that you'll see Dominic Blade Wade. That's him right there. If you've never seen this kid fight, just get ready, buckle up. You'll be excited. Google it, research it. Then we have David Graydon, which defeated Earl Spence for the Golden Glove National title. David will have his third fight. He's 2-0, 2 knockouts. And we have a heavyweight, Danny Kelly, same record. So they'll all be fighting that night.
Hey, Lamont, now the pedestal that you're on as far as, you know, being the champion and everything, and now being with Golden Boy, knowing you have the opportunity to excel even higher, how does that make you feel?
It's a good feeling. Right now, just seemed like, you know, all the hard work, you know, all the years, hard fights, you know, because at this point I look at it like, you know, me and my brother didn't come up easy in the fight game. So, you know, at this point, just all the hard work paying off. You know, I'm champ now, signed with, you know, good promoters, and that's, you know, going to put, you know, everything they got into it and promoting us and moving us and getting us the biggest fights we can get.